Okay, ready to learn some numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 45. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 45. You'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the hand is facing towards yourself. For 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, faces away. So for 1 through 5, it's towards yourself. For 6, it faces away. So you can see that. You can see the movement of your fingers. If you do it this way, it's hard to see. But this way, you can see your hands. Time. How do you sign time? If you look at a clock, 1 hour like this means 1 hour. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, etc. 5 hours. 30 minutes is usually signed like this. 15 minutes is that, just that, 15 minutes. 45 minutes, it's like that. Half an hour, 45 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 7:30. I'll see you at 7:30. I'll see you in half an hour. Let's meet at the restaurant at 7. It's always on the wrist when it's a specific time. When it's the hour. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I'll see you at 2:30. I'm going to a meeting in half an hour. That meeting's going to be soon, in 15 minutes. The meeting's at 5. Understand? Is it clear? All right. Are you ready to learn some new vocabulary? When. Numbers you've already learned, but we're going to review them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 45. 1 hour, 1 minute, day, week, month, year, recently, soon, next, last, finish. Again, when, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 45. Hour, minute, day, week, month, year, recently, soon, next, last, finish. Okay, DST, Deaf Standard Time. You know there's Eastern Standard Time, Mountain Standard Time, Central Standard Time. Each region has its own time zone. Deaf have their own time zone. It's a fact. Now, this might be confusing and you're asking, how can deaf have their own time zone? Let me explain. Suppose you're meeting at a restaurant and you say 5 o'clock. The deaf, will they arrive at 5? No. They'll probably arrive at 5:15 or 5:30. Always, deaf tend to be late. Often, if I want people to show up at 5, I'll tell them 4:45 or 4:30. And then the deaf person will show up on time. So there's that. And now, goodbyes. Deaf typically chat and then they say they're going to go, I'll see you later, but they actually don't leave. They keep chatting and they don't hug and say goodbye that instant. They say goodbye and then they chat some more and say goodbye and slowly move towards the door. If they're at an event like Deaf Club or a social event, they're chatting away, the building closes, the doors get locked, and the deaf move outside to the parking lot in the cold and continue chatting for another 15, 20 minutes, maybe even an hour. And that is a deaf tendency to always stretch that out because it's such a good thing to have that communication and that contact. So they stretch it out. So when a deaf person says goodbye, you still have probably another good 15 minutes to an hour before you actually have to leave. Okay, in a previous lesson, you learned about the word finish and that it can be used to show tense, past tense. For example, work finish, eat finish. Eat finish in English would mean ate. Work finish would mean in English worked. So now we're going to learn about another way to use the word finish in ASL. And that use is in what we call in English a conjunction. So what is a conjunction? Here's a little English review. The 8 parts of speech, verbs, nouns, etc. One of those 8 parts are conjunctions. And so what is a conjunction? Words that are used to connect one thought to another thought. For example, and, but. So in ASL, the word finish can be used as a conjunction. And this is how. It's usually as for a list of things to do. For example, if I'm the mom and I'm telling my kids to do something, I might say go, eat, finish, school finish, housework clean, finish, then you can go outside and play. Another example, maybe I get up in the morning, finish, eat breakfast, finish, wash dishes, finish, and then finally I can sit down. So that's an example of using finish in ASL as a conjunction. Alarms, alarm clocks. How do deaf people know when there's an alarm going off, or a doorbell, or a fire alarm? How do they wake up every morning? To an alarm. There are various ways, and most common is that an alarm will have a light that flashes. In my house, I don't have a flashing alarm system, but some deaf do. Some deaf have service dogs, and I have a service dog here. I'll show you. Right over there. So that's my dog. And he lets me know if somebody's knocking at the door or if there's an alarm going off. He'll come and let me know and point me in the right direction because he's been trained to do that. A fire alarm has a strobe light. I don't have one, but you'll notice in the mall there's a big red box that has a light on it for a fire alarm. And some deaf people also have those in their homes. My alarm that I wake up to in the morning is this. And it looks like a normal clock, but it has something added to it, and that is this. So this plugs into it and goes under my bed and causes it to vibrate when the alarm goes off. And that's how I wake up. Some hearing people might say, how do you wake yourself up but not your wife or your husband? So suppose my wife needs to get up at 6, but I want to get up at 8. Does it mean I have to get up at 6 too? No. We both have our own alarms. Mine is under my side of the bed. And we learn to ignore the other person's alarm. So my alarm is done. I wake up and turn it off. Maybe my wife's still sleeping because she's learned to ignore my alarm and she follows hers. So there's that. And now, review from all of our past lessons that we've had in this class, all the concepts you've learned. Wow, you have learned so much. So what is it? You can see in the top corner there, the picture with the arrows pointing back and forth. You've learned that yesterday is behind us, the present is right here in the front, and the future's ahead of us. You've learned the closed 5 hand shape is used for possessive pronouns. You've learned that the pointer finger pointing to you, me, him, her is used for personal pronouns. You've learned that it's so important to have a head nod or a head shake corresponding to your sentence. You've learned that facial grammar is super important for ASL grammar. You've learned about verbs, action words that in ASL some have direction, like give to you, give to me, give to everyone, help you, help me, help everyone. You've learned that there is an agent suffix that looks like this, and it's related to things like worker, teacher, etc. You've learned that you have a switch inside your brain that makes you focus on your eyes and your ears, and you are learning to think with your eyes, and that's of utmost importance. You've learned that you get a deaf person's attention by tapping them on the shoulder, on the table, flashing a light. You've learned that a yes-no question has raised eyebrows and a direct gaze. You've learned a WH question has furrowed eyebrows. You've learned the ABCs. You've learned about Alexander Graham Bell and that he's the supervillain of the deaf world in America. And you're going to be learning about, or maybe you just did finish using it as a conjunction in ASL. You've learned about deaf table tendencies and also about dinner table syndrome. You've learned about how cool classifiers are, like the 3 hand shape representing a car, and you've also learned it's important that you state the noun first and then use the classifier. And soon you're going to be learning, why is this class called Martha's Vineyard? Sorry, my spelling's wrong. Martha's Vineyard. Why is this class based on that? You're going to be learning that. You've learned about Thomas Hopkins' Gallaudet, about the topic, comment, sentence structure, and time, topic, comment, sentence structure. And you learned about Laurent Clerc. You learned that deaf people can do anything, any job that they want, they can do it. And you also learned about George Vitez. Wow, you have learned so much. Good job. Yay for you. All right. Hands, eyes, mouth, ears, you, me, he, she, it, we, them, dad, mom, boy, girl. Why? Because. Describe, ask, fast, slow, ready, brother, sister, kid, child, children, adult, adults, my turn, your turn, mine, name, how, sign, I love you, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Question, guess, color, new, old, small, big. Who, what, box, ball, car, doll, book, food, candy, cookie, bike, clothes, shoes, like, want, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, have, need, yes, no, not, don't want, don't like, where, from, here, there, go or go, come, stay, inside, outside, purple, white, black, brown, home, house, room, basement, farm, church, store, school, library, when, now, later, past, future, will, gray, gold, silver, rainbow, which, finish, not yet, yesterday, today, tomorrow, day, time, for, morning, noon, afternoon, night. How, feel, happy, fine, good, opposite, yes, no, different, same, excited, bad, mad, sad, bored, scared, lonely, brave, satisfied, curious, eager, hungry, thirsty, tired, sick, right, wrong, can't, can, hot, cold, understand, don't understand. Teach, learn, make, play, work, eat, with, join, friend, person, people, worker, teacher, student, scientist, doctor, police, fireman, pirate, monster, fairy, favorite, on, off, or on, off, above, under, ahead, behind, beside, in, out, put, cup, table, chair, what do, live, eat, drink, sleep, walk, run, jump, dance, sit, stand, look, give, take, help, throw, can, can't, see, book, like this, an open book, airplane, fly, food, eat, drink, take a drink, sit, chair, phone, call, maybe, sure, but, and. So remember, when you're chatting with someone, there's some vocabulary that's really going to help you. Understand? Yes, I understand. No, I don't understand. Again, please, slow, word. Would you mind finger spelling? How do you sign? How do you sign? Mean. What does that mean? So those words, when you'll use them in everyday conversation. I don't understand what you're saying. Would you mind repeating that? Signing it again? Yes, I understand. I don't understand that sign. Would you mind finger spelling slow? You sign, what does that mean? So those words you'll use every day. They're very common in our conversations. Okay, and now the moment you've all been waiting for. And what is it? Why is this class called New City on Martha's Vineyard? What for? Well, obviously, the church is called New City, and related to Martha's Vineyard. Why? I'll give you a short summary. So you maybe already know that Martha's Vineyard is an island off the coast of Massachusetts, and it's famous for famous people going there for the summer. But what you maybe didn't realize is Martha's Vineyard is also very important in the deaf community in America for this reason. For about 200 years, Martha's Vineyard had their own sign language. That's abbreviated MSLV, Martha's Vineyard Sign Language. And from people who moved onto the island, many of them were from a certain area in England, and they carried a gene that passed on deafness, a deaf gene. So as the islanders settled around Martha's Vineyard and they married each other, the island was isolated, which meant there wasn't a lot of traffic back and forth to the mainland. It happened that many people were born deaf on the island. So that meant that mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, children, many family members would be deaf, and therefore many people signed. They signed Martha's Vineyard Sign Language, MSLV. So on that island, deaf people were considered equal. They could go to the store and have a conversation, tell the person what they wanted. There were deaf business owners. Deaf people founded banks. They were farmers. They were integrated normally into everyday life. The last deaf islander who signed MSLV died in 1952. But so, looking back for probably about 200 years, Martha's Vineyard had their own sign language, had deaf equality. And now, in deaf American culture, we look back and we cherish that idea, that equality and access. That's what we want. And so that relates to our church topic today, that's how the kingdom becomes accessible. When deaf people are considered equals, when they have signing access, that's when we can make that connection to the kingdom. And you'll notice today, well, typically in our lessons, we've had 5 topics: vocabulary, grammar, cultural note, church note, and organization or people highlight. So today, organization, people highlight, there is none, because it's a big question mark. Maybe the next highlighted person will be you, or maybe me. Maybe together we can create a new Martha's Vineyard where deaf people are equals. Not, oh, poor you, deaf, we need to do this for you. No, where we see them as just like us. We want communication. They have something that's so valuable. We want them included with us because it benefits us, and our connection to them benefits them equally. There's mutual benefit through our relationships, just like the body of Christ all over. So my heart opened up to you is that I understand not all people are going to feel this conviction like I have, but I feel that somebody, somewhere, has to, because God cherishes deaf people. So I guess my request for you, if you're watching this, it means you have some interest. Maybe you know somebody who's deaf. If you know us, you know somebody who's deaf. So maybe you'd pray and ask God, the love that you've put into my heart, I want to show to people around me. And I want my hands to be used for the deaf community. Not in, oh, poor you, let me help you, but for inclusion, that we can grow strong together as the body of Christ.